I am the CPS Punisher, and I stand before you today with a fierce urgency to address the dark realities surrounding Child Protective Services. I would like to let you know that Monday through Friday I host a roundtable show at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, which is in the United States time zones. I say this only because we have teamed up with some very amazing allies across the Atlantic Ocean. They are true spectacles of word warriors standing shoulder to shoulder with us day and night. Speaking out against the injustices they are facing on their soil, they back us up on ours. We are now a worldwide fighters alliance ready to confront these challenges together. We do have the guts for boots on the ground, but right now we are amplifying our voices. We are putting the almighty pen to paper to create a bill that we must get in front of those seeking office in Congress this November. We need people to assist us in getting these documents to their respective persons for review. Sure, we are talking and raising awareness, but now we must take decisive action. Our kids are waiting far too long to be put back in the homes of their true biological, God-given parents.
Childhood, growing and developing years of a person. This is meant to be a highly important time to create morals, fundamentals, and skills necessary to be a success. Instead, the trauma CPS creates in these young minds set a path of disaster, and statistics prove it. In nearly 90% of their cases, the trauma is unnecessary. Time is the one thing that can never be given back. CPS takes away moments in life that can't be replaced. The time just keeps going, doesn't mean a thing anymore. They left as children, and it's up to them when they come home if they know who you are. Each second away is time you will never get back and keep getting older.
Studies are leading towards incarceration.
Now comes the honorable judge in the halls of justice, where the Constitution will hold strong, and your rights to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness will trample CPS for all they have done to your child.
The truth and corruption that's revealed to you is enough to make you sick. This is not America we were sold.
Children are being taken from families at the rate of one a minute. It needs to be stopped.
It's time to wake up and abolish CPS.
What's up, everybody? Happy, let me get up here. There I am. What's up, everybody? Happy Labor Day weekend. Summer is now over. It is time to get back to the grind of work. That's why we celebrate this, what we call Labor Day. And it's unfortunate because this means that the full workforce will be back in the CPS zone. So this means that we need to be on our toes. Don't forget to like, share, all of that good stuff right here in the, let me move over a little bit. I feel like I'm clogging myself up here. Right there. You will see that is the chat. You guys can go ahead and join yourselves into that. Please let us know what you think, what you thought, what you think you can do, what you could do. And you know what I've learned is what's very important is to like every time that you're watching this too. So make sure that you guys are putting up the flipping up the like buttons is very important. It helps us out quite a bit, I guess, with some things. I haven't learned that yet, but if you guys know what it's for, then make sure you please do it. All right, so it's Labor Day. What do we got going on? Well, there's a lot of things going on. I want to reiterate to everybody the Nicholson guidelines that I had found last week, the 4 prongs that are necessary for domestic violence to have a child removed from your home. Make sure that if you guys didn't get that from me, that you email me at CPSV Hunting Justice. That way you can get a copies of those because that's some pretty important stuff. We also have a new group up on Facebook. It's called International Injustices. So go ahead and check out that. So there's some good stuff there, some information for you. There was something that I was like, man, I'm going to really press this when we get on the show tonight. And now I'm just kind of drawing a blank. I should have wrote that one down, but I didn't. So, but tonight what we do have is we have, Canada. We got our lady from Canada, the one and only Miss Josie. And here she comes somewhere. Josie's out here. Hold on a minute. Let me go over to here. Here we go. Hey, there's Vinny. Hey, Vinny. Vinny's out here with us. That's not it. Where's Josie? Let's see. We'll try this one here. Let's put us up here. Josie, we're coming to you. So when we can find us. Oh, I saw us, Josie. There we are.
I'm here.
Hey,
Hello.
Josie. There she is. Perfect. Let's maximize you. All right. We got a big Josie and no me. What's going on, Josie? How are you?
I'm good. Same here. It was a long weekend for us too.
Yeah. Are you guys all done at camp now? I don't know where
there's 2 weeks left until September 15th.
Oh, okay.
But so it's getting chilly.
Yeah. Well, I try to find us here. This is kind of weird. There we go. There we are. All right. Perfect. How's your granddaughter?
She's good. She came over this weekend.
Oh, good. Yes. So that's staying the way it's supposed to be. No funny business or any of that type of stuff going on?
Nothing. And my daughter also, I don't know if I told you this, but they wrote her a letter saying that they're short in staff and she'll be put on a waiting list like when they have time. So like proving that this was stupid at the beginning, that they had no reason. And now that she's home, all the resources, they're short of staff and her name will be put in a pile. So like, it's ridiculous.
So they interrupted your life, tore apart months away from your grandbaby that she'll never get back. More so, you guys will never get that time back with her. She won't know, hopefully, that she never remembers this dirty bullshit that happened. But in all of this for no reason.
Yeah.
And now you still have things looming for you that they're trying to put to bed. And you're like, no, you're not doing that. You're not letting this go. And what's good is, I don't know, did you meet Durham Justice the last time that you were here? The guys from UK, the gentleman from the UK?
Randy?
No, he was here too, but not Ranji. Durham Justice. He's here with us right now. He's got some things going on that I wanted you to explain how you did things, because he's kind of going up your alley where he wants to sue he's trying to go after the state for some things that they've done. And he wants to press criminal charges on them.
Good.
So I wanted you to explain that to him. But Vinny, how are you doing tonight, buddy?
Good, man. Good.
You look good in that headset.
Yeah. This headset's like the bomb for $8. I ain't complaining, man.
No. Josie's got some earbuds in tonight. I see.
Yep.
I'm going raw. Herbert, he got himself a new pair of Galaxy Buds.
Yeah, he did.
Where's
He sounds a
Herbert?
lot better.
I was
He's
just.
here.
What's that?
Herbert's here. He just popped in.
Herbert's in the house. Let's get him out here. Herbert's in the house.
Hey,
Herbert.
buddy.
How you doing?
Good,
Hi,
how are
Jonesy.
you?
Good. How are you?
Hey.
You're awfully dark. We can't see your
Yeah.
pretty
I can't
face.
even see you today, Herbert. It's all black.
Yeah.
There you go.
Ah,
There he is.
there you are.
Check this out. Watch this. I'm going to show you. This is pretty cool. And I don't care what anybody thinks, man. I think that this is freaking awesome. I'm pretty proud of myself for this. But let me see here. Yep, there it is. I am here. Let me just pull it up for you guys real quick. No, save and continue. Yes. Okay. I'm trying to show you. Let me see here. You know what? I'm just going to go in there this way. Let me see. I'm going to go right in. If you go to Amazon and you type in Stay Calm, CPS is coming, guess what? My book shows up.
Really?
Oh, good.
Yeah. So I read it onto Amazon now. Hold on. I'm going to try to pull it up for you. Let me see here. I don't know. I'm like all nervous about this for some reason, trying to show you this. So I've forgotten where the damn thing is to show.
I didn't know you wrote a book.
Yeah, I sure did. I've actually have a series of them. So now the series will launch off of this. And it's just, all it is a dummy's guide to CPS, really. That's the way it comes. You know what I mean? Like, it's just breaking apart different things, all the shit that you need to know about courtrooms, little side tricks. Like this version has the Title IV funding in it. It has like the whole law itself that it breaks down. It's got, it's got just a ton of information in it for what happens when CPS is coming. Cause it's not a matter of if, it's when. Oh yeah, here it is right here. Boom, bookshelf. It's on live.
You did it all on Amazon?
Well, I didn't do it on Amazon, but it's being sold on Amazon. Let me see here. Visit Kindleville. How do I get it?
Good evening, Josie.
I'm eating potato chips.
You on Amazon? There we go.
I just had steak with the
side of fava beans.
The onion sour cream.
Me, it's almost 9 o'clock, so now I'm at my snack time.
Oh, I'll be at that soon.
Look at that. There it is. So Stay Calm, CPS is coming. A Parent's Guide to CPS. So there it is. You can buy it on Amazon. They have a hard copy, a soft copy, and then the ebook. So check that out. And then the money from that helps us, with this show. It helps us with a lot of things. I have to come up with a way for us to get some income in here because, this stuff, these things aren't free, and I don't mind. I'm not complaining about that. But on the same hand, we need to do something here to, get better because, I can't always afford for the advertising and the things like that to get our name and our words out here, so if people could go through and maybe buy the book to help us with that, that would be really cool. We'd really appreciate that. And it would, I know how to stretch $1 for sure. So anything on that.
So say name it again. Stay Calm. CPS is coming.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Stay Calm.
Yeah, I think I just seen that it was posted on there today.
I'll send you to you, Josie.
Yeah, I'll buy it. I'll buy one for sure. But I want it autographed though by you.
Oh, I will. I'll definitely send you an autograph. I'll send you an autograph copy for sure. I'll send you one of the manuscripts so you can have like the raw version. But no, Josie, so I want to put together this series with this book, and I want Herbert to do I don't know where he went now, but I wanted him to do a write up of he's doing the pre-CPS stuff. Like, what do you do as a parent to get yourself in there? So we'll put that in as part of the series. Maybe we'll do international law part where you can write up Canadian stuff, Canadian law stuff to add to this. So we'll make our own encyclopedia of all these people that are getting involved in this stuff. We can all collaborate and make this one book system so that we can start knocking these people out. So we have our own library of experienced people that, you know what, just because the law book says one thing, it doesn't mean that it worked, that it didn't work, what we can do, what we can't do. Like we know the ropes. We've worked and practiced on this stuff. So we just add our own little twist to it, and bada bing, bada boom, we got ourselves some publishing.
Oh, I got something good that you're going to be proud of me for.
Oh, I'm always proud, Josie, but what do you got?
Okay, so like, I don't know, well, in Canada, in Quebec anyways, if you have a problem with a system, like say the health system or the children's aid, there's this place, it's like the first place where you can complain or you can put a complaint on, right? It's called le comité des usagers, right? So if you have a complaint about a service, a governmental service, there's like these people that are on a committee, okay, and they help. They say they help parents and children's rights, right? It's like they're supposed to be like the stepping stone. Well, guess what? Meet the newest member.
Oh, no way, really? Wow, that's awesome.
I don't even know how I got in. I was scared. Like I've been sending her emails like since the beginning of summer, right? Just like saying like, oh, I might be interested. What do you guys do? Blah 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 blah. But I've written to her personally when all this shit went down, so I was scared she was gonna remember my name. Right.
Wow, that's
but
crazy.
So tomorrow she's gonna. I'm in, and tomorrow she's gonna hand in me the papers and everything. So at 2:00 we're going for coffee. I passed the interview on the September 11th. I go to this fancy supper for the bénévole, what do you call it? For like people that are working free to help these people. So I'm in. So guess what? I'm gonna have a lot of information, and then we go directly in children's aid centers and we go talk to them. But like, I'll let you guys know because right now I'm like a deer with
so what are you,
I don't know what
role?
I'm doing.
What are you going to be doing? Like, what is it consist of?
So basically we take complaints by parents. So we take the complaints by parents or by the teenagers or kids or whatever, and then we try to help them. But I don't know because she did fuck all for me. So I don't know what, like, I'll know more probably tomorrow after our coffee, and she's gonna hand me papers. But just the fact that I'll be able to enter these facilities and go talk to the teenagers that are stuck there, and then I'll be able to be their voice, right? I'm gonna have to play safe for a little bit, but I entered from the back door. Wait till they see my face. You know what I mean?
Yes,
wait till I realize that it's me.
Right. Wow. That's freaking awesome, Josie. That's like you're getting to be access of something that none of us have been able to access, or we've never even gotten to, and you're going right to the people. That's freaking awesome. So you should be able to get us someone on this show once you get yourself worked in there. That is so freaking awesome.
No, I know.
Wow.
So I'm like, see, I'm that type of person that tries and tries and tries. So my mission ain't over. I'm going to help those kids, and I'm going to make a difference in this world any way, which way I can. And if I can go through the back door, well, hey. And now if they try to say that, if they try to dismiss me and say, well, we can't have you anymore, well, now that's discrimination.
Right. Josie, that's freaking awesome. You know, I always knew since the day I met you that you were one of these days going to bust through and be the it of all of this. It's not going to surprise me if you're not standing there at the top of the pile of rubble when this whole thing comes tumbling down, and there you are going to be standing up there. No doubt in my mind. You just have always seemed to, you get yourselves in these not you didn't get yourself in these predicaments, but you get handed these situations, and you go out, you kick their ass, you mop up the floor with their underwear, and then you come out and have a cigarette. It's freaking awesome. You know, it's great. You know, like it's
I'm just like, yes, sir. But I was so scared. I was like, they're gonna see my name. They're gonna see my name. And then every time I'd write to her, I would just put Jose. right?
Right.
I wouldn't put my last name
But
because
what
I was scared she was
actually
gonna like
would be your
TikTok
job?
me
What
or
actually
something, right?
would be your job?
Huh?
What exactly would your job be that you'll be doing exactly?
Well, basically, I don't know if you guys had this, but like, say say your dad or someone was in the hospital and you didn't have a good care and you want to make a complaint. So I will be on the committee of the people who take complaints and who try to what's the word I'm trying who try to handle the complaints on a different level. So you're like a committee of people that do it for free that help the patient the person that has a complaint. So I'll be able to look at all their complaints, if it's always the same people, what kind of complaints they have. I'll be in the nitty gritty of it all.
Awesome.
Okay, I get it. So, guys, what she's going to be doing is what we have in all of our hospitals.
Yes.
For example, if you have a loved one in the hospital and the room is always cold and you complain to the nurse and the doctors and nobody does anything, you go to the adversary person
Yes.
that works there.
That's
And she will be on a committee of those people where in all of our hospitals in the United States, we can make a complaint. If the doctor and the nurse don't listen, the adversary person, usually is a social worker, that will come in and take the complaint and follow up. And so it sounds like you would be on that committee to make
Yep.
decisions
Yep.
on whether grandma's room is too hot or too cold.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, for us up here, Josie would be like an advocate.
In the
Yes.
hospital, every hospital has one. Every hospital has one for the patients advocacy.
Yeah.
But you're dealing with
for
credit.
us, for us, we have it for Children's Aid. So
Right.
all the parents that complain about something that happened within
With
for the
CP
foster
with DBG,
families,
right.
for everything, it will come to me. Well, not
Right.
well to the committee, right? Not necessarily to me, but to the committee. And then I don't know what we'll do. I'll
So,
find out tomorrow.
Herbert,
But
it's even better than that because she's got direct access now to all of the DBG people, that the caseworkers, to the social workers, to the board committees, every
That's
person
correct.
that you can have, and see, which we
That's correct.
couldn't access. She's
That's
got
exactly correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you: are you going to be working with children or working with adults and children?
both.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Very good. I'll be right back.
All right. And that's Herbert coming right back to us.
So that's cool, eh?
Yeah, you're going to be able to get, you might even be able to tip the hat of them in their mindset even, like to be
Yeah.
able, but what you will be able to do too is you'll be able to find out the ins and outs of information, because I'm sure that you are very social butterfly, and I'm sure that you'll be able to talk to these people, and I know that you have friends in high places and relatives in high places that are all involved in these things, so you can get the yap and get the truth to what's going on here.
Well, that's exactly my point. Because I'll go in. I'll stay low profile for a while,
Right.
And then once they get to love me and like me, blah blah, hopefully I'll be able to like show them a different side, because I experienced it. Right? I believe that they're probably there doing it because they want to help and blah blah. But if they don't see the other side and they only see the painted side of the social workers and they can't see the other side, I hope I can bring in like the other side, just like I do at the school committee. I'm always the one saying, well, right? So this is just me continuing what I'm doing already, just now with the kids.
That's huge, Josie. That's really huge.
So when do you start that?
Well, tomorrow I'm already in the committee, so it's already confirmed. But tomorrow she's supposed to come for coffee and give me all the documents.
That's so great. All the documents. All of the documents.
So that's why I don't know exactly. I'll know probably tomorrow. Next week I'll know.
Right.
I think Darren's right though. That you're gonna help tip that scale.
Yep. Josie's there's one person that can do it, Josie. It's you for sure.
And once someone starts tipping that scale and they catch on, and then other states will follow.
Yep. Other
Exactly.
countries, Vinny. We got her on the large scale, right? There's other countries that should be
Yeah.
involved with Josie. I mean, Josie's no pushover for sure. She's a military mom. She's a machine, man. And we in this movement couldn't have gotten a better person to be put into that position, to be able to be like, secretive, like, because Josie's doesn't go in and be like, blah, but she does too when she has
I
to.
do too. Yeah.
Right,
Sometimes
right. But in this situation, you know how to keep control of yourself and how to keep your shit together so you don't blow your stack and blow our cover here.
Yeah.
Because you have multiple reasons for doing what you're doing, and that's awesome. That's so cool. It's so freaking cool. Wow.
I was
Yeah,
so
some
scared
of
that
them-
they were gonna see my name and look at my TikToks and be like, nope, but
Or ask AI.
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
If you ask AI who Josie is, man, I'm not gonna throw your last name out there, but if you ask AI who Josie is, it'll tell you all about her. It's pretty funny. Her and I spent some time one night, and I wasn't aware of this stuff, that this did this, and we ran both of our names and some stuff with it, and it definitely hit the nail on the head with Josie, no doubt about it. It was pretty crazy. It was pretty wild. I don't know if you've ever done that, Vinny, or not, but when that made AI asked it if you know who you are.
No.
Oh man, you should see how accurate it is with you.
You can see how much
Pretty
of a influence you are if AI knows who you are.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, that is right. That's kind of good, that we ranked like that on there. Like it pretty much put up there that me and Josie were somewhat terrorists almost at that point.
Yeah.
Which I never knew that we were that much, and I thought she was kind of just pulling my chain when she first said it. So we run her set of names and everything, and I mean that thing had everything right to about what, like 95% of you.
Well, no, I would say 80%.
80%.
Yeah, there were some clearly lies. They said that I was an officer.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay.
I was in the middle. Like it had parts of it right. So when you read it, you think it's right. You know what I mean? It's very manipulated. So it said I served 13 years in the military as an officer. I served 13 years in the military, but I was an NCM.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there was parts of it where you're like, okay, this is true. And then if you continue reading, you're like, okay. It even said that I was
you were medical
indigenous,
right?
It said I was indigenous. I am not indigenous unless
that's
someone
right. Yeah,
knows something. Yeah. I was
MTN, is that medical treatment?
It said that I denied my COVID shot. It said that.
Oh, careful. Oh, so I'll tell you guys this. We got fragged on YouTube they called it medical misinformation.
Oh, okay.
By denying when Vinny said that I don't even want to say what he said.
Right.
But all he did was deny the fact that he hadn't gotten COVID, and they flagged him. So when you guys are listening, YouTube, I didn't say that. I was just giving the example.
For educational purposes.
For educational purposes, yes. Thank you.
Yes.
So they did that with that on us. I couldn't believe. So I couldn't believe that that they did that, but they did. So we just got to be careful when we're talking about that C word.
But it did call me an advocate for children's aid, though.
Yeah.
So, there was super positive stuff in there. I was like, well, that's good.
Yeah, you were. It knew a lot. I was very, very, very surprised what it said, to be honest. And not even it's not like you entered that information in. You just asked who you were. I didn't know who your husband was, right?
No, my husband has no clue.
No, what I'm saying is the AI didn't it?
No, AI doesn't know who my husband is or didn't know who my daughter was, but knows
who was it related you to some man, remember? Did it not? Am I remembering it wrong?
No, not to one man. No.
I thought that.
Then you say, "Is she married?" And then they'll say, "Yes, she's married," but they don't. They don't know who. They have no idea who.
Right.
And then even if you write okay, who is Kaylee? And then they'll say Kaylee is Jose Bill's granddaughter. And then you're like, okay, well, who's the mother? They don't say anything.
Wow.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. But talking about my husband, you know what we celebrated this weekend?
What's that?
Our 10-year anniversary.
Oh, very nice. Very, very nice. Did you guys do anything fun?
No, we just went to the cottage. He bought me flowers and a whole bunch of
nice.
Pandora bracelets. But yeah.
Whoa, all right.
Yeah.
That's good. You know, Vinny, did you know that Josie is married to a former DBG man?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's a former children's aid, not social worker, but worker employee.
So what's the difference between a children's aid and a social worker?
He was health and safety.
Okay.
So he didn't work. He didn't necessarily work with the kids. He worked more with the employees. So he worked more with the social workers and stuff. So
okay.
He was on a lot of the committees and stuff like that too, right?
Do you kind of wish that you were able to know what you knew now when he was doing that, and were able to like help? Maybe he could have like worked from the inside too. I know he's gone now, but
yeah.
I mean, he must be like, damn, if I only knew that. But how was his action when they came and they did that things to your daughter? How did he feel about it, knowing that he used to work for them and do those things?
Well, when he was working there when the first lawsuit went out, right? So, so it was very hard because I would be like, your place of work has done this to my daughter, and he was in denial for a bit.
Wow.
Because he still had the thing saying, no, kids often lie when they go there, and like he was still kind of in denial. But then I was like, no, like this is serious. And then when I finally gave the papers in, they took him and they transferred him to a different sector. So then that was like enough to be like, oh wow, this is the respect they're giving me as an employee for 13 years. And then everything like spiraled from there. And then he like kind of woke up and was like, wow, like, yeah. So they completely took him from working at DPG, from working at the Children's Aid, and then they made him work at the hospital. So then he wasn't working with his friends. His friends were even told not to enter contact with him.
Oh, really? When you guys were going through the investigation and stuff?
When the first lawsuit with my daughter. Yeah.
Now, hey, Durham, you're on here, right?
Yes, brother.
All right. So, Durham, you want to tell Josie a little bit what you got going on? Because it seems like what you were trying to do with getting involved with pressing charges against the people there, it's like the same thing that Josie did with what she's doing up there in Canada.
Well, because I labelled my son with FASD when my partner hadn't drank for her pregnancies. Yeah. Social workers have put a label on my son. And we know full well, we've got all the evidence. They've covered up injuries and children's services. Darren, you put my feed through your channel a few weeks back there.
Yes, sir.
That was the fostering agency who had covered it up with social services. I mean, I can send you the injuries. It's ridiculous. So obviously I'm going to go after him now because they put a label on my son that he hasn't got. My partner didn't drink through one of her pregnancies. They've turned around and said she got alcohol dependency syndrome, the same as me. We've never been diagnosed with that, So basically these people are just full of shit, you know what I mean? So I'm definitely going after him, like.
Mm-hmm.
And how many kids do they have of yours?
4.
4.
Yeah, but I don't know who's listening in on YouTube, so I don't really want to go into detail. Like, but one of my children's actually gone now, permanently, with all their bullshit.
It's permanent, Durham. It's not always permanent, buddy.
No, I know it can be overturned.
We're all in the same boat, buddy, with you. So you know that.
There's some other news as well. The European courts are going to be investigating UK Children's Services. There's a report coming out on the 25th of January next year, because obviously they've said there's something seriously wrong. So they're looking at it and they're going to look to change the law. Obviously, the crystal ball effect, future harm. So they're going to be looking at that and they're going to try and squish that. But they are going to be investigated now. So I hope they've enjoyed their time of stealing children, because eventually it's going to come to an end.
Yeah, but that's in January.
January the 25th. Yeah,
We're in
but it could.
September.
I know that report's coming out, but it could. I mean, it still could take 6 years, and that's going to mean more children are going to get taken in the meantime. Do you know what I mean? And they're criminals anyway. What I found this week is unreal. There's one social worker there. She signed forms to say that vulnerable parents needed money, but what she was doing, she was signing it and keeping the cash herself. She's got 28 grand. And she was putting it up her nose, basically.
Wow.
And honestly, Darren, there's a lot more. Falsifying evidence, everything. They're just proving to themselves, right? They're criminals. They're a criminal organization, and then they need to be brought down.
Yep. Well, have you tried to do a private prosecution?
That's what I wanted you to talk to.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I know your laws are different over there, Josie. I've spoken to ex-police officer, 14 years in the Met from London, and she's given me all the tools to do it.
Okay. So you guys must not be that different, though, right? Because Josie's in Canada. Aren't you guys kind of?
Well, like we followed the Queen and stuff, so like our laws are probably very similar, right? Yeah.
So that's why I had thought of you guys to talk about this because
I did a private complaint. We call it a private complaint, which is pretty much the same thing. But they refused it. But now I'm doing an appeal to go up higher because the judge refused it, but won't give me the refusal in writing.
Right.
Which is automatically illegal because a judge is supposed to give you the reasoning behind the refusal, which he didn't. But anyways. But I did it all by myself. So no lawyer, no nothing. Did it myself, right? Yeah. So every
the whiteboard.
People can do this all by themselves. You know, you don't need a lawyer.
No, I'm going to use AI for the documentation.
100% use AI. I use ChatGPT.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I wrote loads of letters and emails I've sent to the courts, and I put it into legality. I put all the law in. I put the lot. I could go to a lawyer, a solicitor in this country, and it's going to cost me about £300 for a letter to be drawn up. Whereas I can do it myself now. So
do it yourself, and like the faster you do it, the better it is. I think that the really thing I've noticed that when I did the private complaint for kidnapping, that's what I did it for Criminal Code 280. The minute I did it, the baby came back not very long after.
Wow.
So I think that might be the little secret is how to change family law and make it go into criminal law, because the family laws aren't the same as in criminal law. And then when we talk to people and we say, yeah, but they falsified and they did this and they lied and blah, blah. In family law, that doesn't count. But as soon as they go into criminal law, then they can get charged with perjury and like falsification and lying under oath and stuff, but not in family law. So that I think that's what we have to start shifting parents into saying, really, family law, like we're going to switch you to criminal law, and then they'll be scared. And don't sue. And another thing, do not sue the CPS. Like, do not sue the organization. Sue the people involved.
Right.
So sue the director. Like, put the director's name of whoever's in there, and the social worker as a person, and not as
a whole.
Yes, because as soon as you put them as a whole, they're going to use the immunity clause, saying, "Well, we did it out of good faith," and that's how they hide it.
Yeah.
So if you have to sue the people, individuals.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's good stuff.
Thanks, Josie. Josie, can you follow me on TikTok, please?
100% I can.
Thank you, honey.
What's your handle?
It's Durham Justice. It's got, like, you'll see it. It's like the profile picture's blue. It's got Handel Kids back. You'll find it on TikTok.
How do you spell it? Well, type it in the chat. Can you do that? Durham Justice? Is that just how? Okay. Durham Justice.
And anybody else that's watching, please go look him up on TikTok and show him your support. Show him that you support him, follow him, and make sure that you guys. And same thing with Josie, or Vinny or myself, any of us that are out there. Like we're all on these other networks. So go check out what our stories and our messages are out there.
Thanks, Bill. See, Darren, can I say one more thing?
You can say whatever you want, brother.
Please, buddy. If CPS turn up at your door with the police, ring the police and ask them to come and do a welfare check. Keep the CPS and the police that's come with them outside the property. The police that you ring, bring those in to do the welfare check, because the police that come with the CPS are on their side and they're like protection police. It's the same in this country. So as soon as they turn up at your door, you say no warrants, no orders, nothing. You stay there, and then you ring the police to come and do the welfare check, and you let them into your house only.
That's pretty cool, man.
The police are all working together.
Yeah,
so.
I know, but like in this country, right, it'll be the same with you. When the CPS or Children's Services turn up at your door, they bring the child protection police with them. They've got a team that come with them, right? And a lot of people have done this here. They've picked up the phone and they've rang the police, and they've came to the house and they've done the welfare check, and they've gone away and said nothing's wrong. As soon as you let CPS into your house or Children's Service into your house, they'll start looking for anything to take those children. So it's just a little bit of advice. And thanks, Darren. Thanks, Josie. Vinny,
you taking off?
Walmart wants that headset back.
Are you out of here? Are you taking off, Durham? Or are you hanging with us?
No, I'm staying.
All right.
He ain't going nowhere. He's always with us the whole entire
going
show.
nowhere, man. Maybe it's just to make a cup of coffee, so I'll mute myself.
I really like that. I really like what he just said there. I agree. I'm kind of on the side of Josie with that one. I'm going to look into that thing a whole little bit too, though. But because I wonder how the jurisdiction works then, because then you turned it around and now you've been the caller. So I wonder how that. I'm going to look into that, like Durham said, because that's a pretty fabulous idea. You want to fight fire with fire. Like these guys aren't going to go against each other.
You can also say that you don't trust these people from outside because there could be anybody turning up at your door, basically.
Right.
That's what I would say. I say, look, I've got some guys at my door, blah blah blah.
Right, make it into an emergency too. Right. So you're like, I don't know who these people are.
I think that's a good idea too, honestly.
Yeah, I think so.
That's going to be for our new show, Josie. That would be some advice for the new show.
That's something for us to look into, Darren.
No, absolutely. I know that it's been talked about before, because I know that you're allowed to, when they come there, and if they don't have a warrant and they don't have a reason, I know that it's been discussed and that we talk about it and say you're allowed then at that point to turn to the police and tell them to trespass those people from your property. Yeah. I know that's an acceptable way, but if you actually call up the police department yourself, like Durham says, and then order in your own investigation into this thing by a separate set of uniforms that come down, you can cause quite a bit of animosity, hate, and discontent, and all kinds of things.
But we need to ask Herbert. Herbert could answer.
Yeah, where is Herbert?
Also,
I don't know.
Darren, what else you could do? You could ask for their supervisor as well.
Right.
Where's Herbert?
Yeah. Ask their supervisor to come down and do the welfare check and keep them outside. Maybe that works. Because I know if you get traffic stops and this, that, and the other, you've seen them on YouTube with the cameras and that, and they always ask for the supervisor. And the supervisor, it's like we ask for a sergeant here to come.
Yeah, they do. Yep. I've seen that quite a bit.
If you could get, So if you got officers turn up and go, nah, I want your supervisor, and let the supervisor do the welfare check because he's a higher rank.
Right.
Just a thought.
Yeah, no, that's a great thought. I love that. I love it all, But we're right. The one time Herbert was just saying the other day that we haven't talked about police in a long time, and now here we are talking about police, and he must have had to go walk the dog maybe or something. I don't know. But hey, Durham, I wanted to play this clip just for you right here. It's funny that you just brought up what you brought up in the text there. I'm going to play this for you. Hold on a second. It's really funny that you just did it. Right before the show, I was showing Vinny this clip for a different reason. But this is me in my former days that brought me here. This was my mentor, I guess, if you will, and the man that got me going in all of this stuff. But here's this clip. This is fun, and I'll tell you why afterwards too. But go ahead and here we go. Check this out. This was one of those days.
Why did CPS
Oh, sorry.
take your kids away from you in the first place?
Oh, the chronic neglect. In Nevada, because they saw my husband's motorhome, and I didn't live there, and they said that we lived in a place that had no running water, no this, no that, and I said, I live in Utah. I was just visiting his dad. I lived in Utah, and then I even got, like, in front of me the what's so funny? That's why they took him, because of neglect. Not that, and I was just with my husband for 2 days in that motorhome.
Why did CPS?
So yeah, that's where I came from, Durham. Those were the people that got me started in all this stuff.
I contacted the wrong people then today.
What's that?
I tried to get Bob Pace, man, to come on your show, man.
Yeah. So when I left there, Bob Pace came in and he took over my spot.
It was Grace that sent me a message today.
Yeah, Grace is great. Grace is an amazing lady. They're all a really good bunch of people over there. People will say what they want to say about them. Let them have their opinions. That's fine. But they do go out and they do help people. And that's what's important in all of this. And that's the thing that I want everybody to understand. Look, some people do have to make money as a career in this stuff. Like, that has to happen. This is what they do for their life. Now, you can't hold anything to people that are having to make a living from this and trying to, when they're spending 24/7 working on this stuff. They've got to make money somehow. They got to pay their bills. They've got to do this. Now, you can't take advantage of people that are in this situation. That's wrong. But it's okay if you're trying to just make your living doing this stuff. It's not a bad thing. And that, you see a lot of that go along with here. And all that does when people make those complaints is it just scars the movement. That's all it does. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just scars the movement. Like, back off these people. They're just trying to live, like everybody else is. Whether it's any of the people that, it seems like any person that shows themselves in the forefront of this movement, they get barraged by, they're trying to take advantage of, and they're doing this. And instead of focusing on the kids and what it's supposed to be about, everybody takes off after them, and then it's just a witch hunt, and it's disgusting. And that's not what this movement is about. This movement is about people that are willing to help the children get home to their families. So they should be commended, not brought down. They shouldn't be trampled on. Make sure that you're not spitting out information that's not true about people, because there's a lot of that going around. They'll say, Vincent Davis did this for this amount of money, or they'll say Malibu Dallas did this and Jess did this, and all the front runners are doing all of these things for money and all of this. Make sure people, if you're going to accuse people of it, that you're doing it with a full-on investigation, because it's not right to take these people down just on hearsay. Don't take them down on things that you yourself are fighting for the children not to be taken down. Make sure that you guys do your homework. If you're going to go ahead and accuse people of something, do it right and do it fulfilled, because number one, those people don't deserve it if it's not true. And number two, if it's not true, you're going to be looking like a fraud in this movement. And we need every person in this movement that we can possibly get. So if you're going to go after someone in this movement and you're from this movement, make sure that you're doing the right thing all the way around. Herbert, there you are. Did you hear what Durham had?
Did I hear what?
Durham, go ahead and tell Herbert what you were saying again, if you wouldn't mind, please.
What I was saying is, when CPS turn up at your door with the police officers, yeah, what we're doing now is we're actually ringing the police. Is Herbert still there? Can you hear me, Herbert? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Right.
You're bringing the police?
Yeah. So, like, if CPS turn up at your door, they come with police officers, okay? You should pick up the phone and ring the police yourself and say you've got officers outside your door and CPS. They wanted to come and do a welfare check. You don't trust these people, so you ring the police, okay? themselves and ask them to come out and do the welfare check, and you keep the CPS and those police officers outside of your house. Because in this country, what happens is, and it might be the same in yours, our country's got children's services, and they bring their own police with them, their child protection police. So then, obviously, the children's service go in the house, tell a load of bullshit. The police obviously back them up because they're child protection police and go away. Okay, and 9 out of 10, they've got no court order, they've got no warrant, nothing, but they just intimidate. So what we said was, we'll pick up the phone and ask the police, a sergeant in your country, the supervisor of the police, to come and do the welfare check and keep these guys outside.
Okay, now that happens in your country. In our country, the real sheriff and the real police comes to the door.
Yeah, but he's saying what he might do is when you get CPS and the cops to your house to do a welfare check, shouldn't we just like recall the police and say, hey, there's people in our house, blah blah blah, like we don't want we don't trust them. Can we have a police car here, a different one that I'm calling for, and you do the welfare check? Would that happen or no?
No. What's going to happen if you did that and you called the police and said, look, I have a police officer at my door, and I have a CPS worker at my door, and I don't think they're legitimate. The police are going to say, stand by. They're going to make a call on the radio, call that officer that's standing in front of your door and say, are you there at 123 Maple? He's going to say, yeah, I'm standing here at 123 Maple.
Oh, okay.
Then they're going to get on the phone and say, well, the police officer at the door, it was dispatched from our department to come to your house.
Okay.
Can you ask for a supervisor to come and do the welfare check or not?
No. What I'm saying is they're going to verify facts to the house. And they're going to verify that, yep, yes, he was dispatched.
I understand that. But
See, in your country, they're playing games like that, but here, no, CPS is calling the sheriff's department or police department to accommodate them. They're going to be outside with a real police car. They're going to be, the sheriff's department is going to be outside with the sheriff's car that says sheriff, and the person at the door is going to be a sheriff personnel. So if you call the sheriff's department, sheriff is only going to say, yeah, we dispatched Officer Melvin to be at your house. That should be Officer Melvin in front of your house.
Child protection police. Separate.
No, we don't have child protection. We don't have child protection police. No.
So you're saying that over there that the police that come with your social workers work for the social workers?
Yeah, they've got a child protection police.
Holy shit.
Obviously, when the social services turn up at the door, they're going to bring those guys with them. They're not going to bring the average police officer to your door. They're going to bring that team with them. So obviously, then they're going to be biased towards the social workers.
Right.
But people has actually in this country have picked up the phone and says, "Look, I've got these police officers out here with social services, and I don't trust them, and I want another police officer here." So you can ask for a sergeant to come and do the welfare check.
Yeah.
They're sneaky.
No, this country doesn't do that. This country contacts the local sheriff or police department to accommodate them to the door.
Also, did the CPS turn up every time with police officers? Every time?
No.
Well, they have the money. They have the money in your country to pay for those people. Here, in our CPS, they don't have the money to pay for added staff to come to the door. So they're going to call the local county police or local sheriff's department.
Do you know what they did? Do you know what they did to us? Do you know what they did to us? They sent armed response to our house, and it frightened with guns, and it frightened the life out of my children. The social worker got into trouble in court for it, but it wasn't the point. They sent armed response to our house for no reason.
Wow.
That's how bad.
Well, here in this country, if a sheriff comes to your door, he's armed. If a police comes to your door, they're armed. Everybody's armed.
No, in your country, but in this country, our police don't carry guns. They've got armed units.
I understand that. I totally get that. In this country, everybody carries it. In this country, everybody carries a gun.
I know that, but it's like it frightened the life out of my children. They're standing there with machine guns.
Yeah, your kids aren't accustomed to that. That's scary as hell to them.
No,
Exactly. And
I
then
understand.
obviously,
I get that. In this country, the parents with the children have guns. Everybody has a gun.
We all got guns. Everybody's
yeah,
got guns.
I don't have a gun.
you
Oh,
don't
No,
need a
but you're
gun,
in
Josie.
Canada.
Yeah,
You're in Canada. You don't have guns. In America, everybody has a gun.
I know.
It's
we
like you don't have
all
a gun. Why don't you have a gun? If you don't have a gun, the real question is, why don't you have a gun?
Yeah. Hey guys, do you guys remember our friend Bo? Josie, do you remember Bo? He was the guy from South Carolina. He was a foster kid. Remember him from time to time? He's suing like the sheriffs and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's here, and he's got an update for us.
Oh,
Let me
cool.
just wait for him to come back. This guy Durham. This guy here is a relentless fighter. He was put into the foster care system when he was a child, and he actually spent his life trying to get back home. Hey, Bo, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can hear you, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Sorry, I keep having to log out to use Facebook and then have to get back in to do anything. So,
Oh, I see. And there you went again. No, you're still there. All right, good. So, Bo, what do you got for us, buddy?
did you see the letter I sent you?
I'm looking at it right now.
Can you read it aloud, and then I will share the context afterwards.
Let me pull it up here to the screen. Let me get this. Let me just zoom in here. Zoom in on this, eh? All right, let me see. Okay, so this is, whoops, wrong one.
Hey, do you live close to New York City?
To
Derek?
Bo? Do I?
Derek.
I'm like 4 or 5 hours. 4
Yeah,
hours, 5 hours.
Oh.
No, Josie, yeah, I live about 4 to 5 hours away.
Because I'm going to New York City, like, at the end of the month.
Oh, really?
Oh,
You
wonderful.
know what's funny
Where
is
you
we gotta
going?
get there too.
We're going to Manhattan, hopefully, and then we're taking a cruise out of New York.
Oh wow. Yeah, maybe we can meet up.
Yes,
I'm just
I would
curious.
love to.
I'm just curious where you're cruising to.
I'm taking the cruise is Royal Caribbean, and we're doing Florida, Bahamas, and KOK, and then we're coming back. I'm going with Brooklyn, my middle daughter.
That sounds like a good time right there.
Why did you decide to go to Manhattan, New York for the cruise versus fly down to Miami
Because
and take the cruise?
Because Brooklyn is Brooklyn, and she's always, ever since she was like 5, she wanted to go see the Brooklyn Bridge because
Okay.
we named her after that. So we said, I promised her a trip to New York, and then we went there. And then when I was looking at hotels in New York, they were like super ass expensive, and I was like, it's cheaper to go on a cruise than to stay in a hotel. So I was like, we'll do both. We'll do a little bit of Airbnb, and then we'll take a cruise.
That makes sense.
All
I
right,
understand. Well, you're going to be flooded with thousands of people.
Gajillions. So this letter is for, in the matter of, let me see here. It says
Daylene
Walls disciplinary case. It says, Dear Mr. Rupert, please be informed that the review committee for the Kansas Board for Discipline of Attorney has considered your disciplinary complaint filed against Daylene Walls. After carefully reviewing the information generated during the course of this investigation and deliberating over the facts, the review committee found that probable cause existed to believe that Ms. Walls violated Kansas Rules of Professional Conduct, 8.4 misconduct. The review committee directed that she be sanctioned by imposition of her informal admonition. What does that word say? Admonition. The fact that the sanction of informal admonition has been imposed is information available to the public. Informal admonition was imposed upon Ms. Walls by letter dated May 23rd, 2024. The action is now considered closed. Thank you for cooperation and participation in the attorney discipline process. We are also grateful to the investigator for the service provided in this matter. Sincerely, Julia Hart. Now, Bo, what does this mean?
All right. So, I was not yet 30 this year when I took down my first DA. Here's the back. So I used to live in a little town called Coffeyville, Kansas, and we had this. I basically ended up helping a lady get 3 of her kids back that had been taken and put in the foster care system by this DA. We discovered that they had violated the Indian Child Welfare Act, that these were in fact Indian children, and state court had no jurisdiction over them. We got the tribal attorney general involved. He threatened to take the county to federal court over the deal. This went on and on and on. This was the DA that helped take kids. I later had them released. The tribe took over the case, gave the kids back to their mom. And, this DA kept these kids in detention for a little over, or in foster care, and some in detention, 4 children total. For a little over 3 years. During this time, they were sexually abused, this and that. So, I continue fighting for the right thing in this little community right after this case. About 3 months later, they arrest me, charge me with a whole bunch of criminal threats. They banished me from the state of Kansas. I later go, the ACLU represents me, and we make nationwide headline. And long story short, we challenged the constitutionality of them banishing me. They said, no, you cannot banish him. This is unconstitutional. Can't do it. Well, I filed, this DA also handled that case. So I filed a complaint against her then and against the case where she handled it. They dismissed both of those. And the county later on had to pay me $30,000 for basically sanctioning an illegal sentence against me. So it wasn't until last year I was sitting here at my table, and I will tell you, this lady has hurt a lot of children and a lot of families. And she was to the point she was practically untouchable. And I was sitting here at my table last year, enjoying me a glass bottle Coke, thinking like I do in the nice chilled Coca-Cola, and giving it some thought all by myself, and my phone lit up, and it was a Kansas number. And they said, well, Bo, I just wanted to tell you that District Attorney Daylene Walls, she's in a inmate uniform, and she's getting ready to be brought before the bond court to set a bond. And I said, well, what the fuck happened here? I live over in South Carolina now. And so I got on the phone with the newspaper editor in that town, and I said, Andy, what the hell? He said, well, she drove her car down in a ditch last night drunk, and when deputies showed up, they discovered she couldn't stand up, and then when they attempted to arrest her, she slapped one of them, and then her husband attempted to interfere, and he got arrested too.
Perfect.
I said, And I said, all right, well. So, everything else I was sitting there thinking about kind of went to the wayside, and the gears in my brilliant little head started turning. And I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and file an ethics complaint against her law license here. You can't get drunk and drive your car down into ditches and slap cops and get arrested. You're a fucking district attorney. Come on now.
Hey.
So I bitched about it, and she got charged. They brought in a special prosecutor. They charged 2 misdemeanors, which let one of us stand here. Anyone in this call go up and do what she did and repeat it, and then slap a police officer. I will bet you $1 million that I don't have that we will not get 2 misdemeanors. One of those charges will be a felony, or both. So she ultimately got to plea it out to a diversion. And there was another issue with that, was that the ACLU, while they were suing the county over my sentence, they were also suing over diversion programs. where the district attorney's office at the time was collecting money and not giving anybody a diversion. It had the lowest diversion rate in the state. Well, it just so happens that, as far as we know, that was one of the first people that got a diversion offered when they started doing diversions again, one of their own.
Of course.
So, really, this letter you see here is really the only part of that whole fucking ordeal that stuck. Even a special prosecutor couldn't make nothing stick. That is the only fucking thing that stuck to her permanent record over what happened here.
And what happens to her?
She's not disbarred, but her reputation in that small town is pretty much marred.
Right.
So she won't have the clients she once wanted. And
Right.
That's pretty much the end of her.
Hey,
Nobody
Bo.
really knows she's a drunk, so she's gonna retire.
Speaking of drunks, Bo, this guy on the phone on the show with us here, his name's Durham Justice. He's from the UK. He's been on the show with us for a couple of weeks now. They have actually said he's had 4 of his kids legally taken, and they're now coming out and saying that his kid, get this, that the kids. So over there, I guess what they're doing is, over here we have ADHD, right? So over there they're doing the same thing, but they're calling it fetal alcohol syndrome is the cause of these things, these behavioral problems. But it's a bad stigma to have, that you're a fetal alcohol baby. So his 5-year-old now has been classified as a fetal alcohol baby, even though his partner never drank a drop, not even close to it. And there's no tests that this can be done with. All of this, we looked this up. What route would you say for Durham to go after these people for handling this stuff? Because now this is just way too far, way too far.
In the States, I would say I would go sit down at the FBI field office and start raising hell. That usually gets you a lot of attention when you start doing that about shit.
Right.
But he's in the United Kingdom. There's no FBI over there.
That's the whole problem here. I'm not an expert in anything about the UK. I don't know how any of it works or operates.
Yeah, well, I know that your brain is big, so I didn't know if you had anything to offer him about that, like where he could go with, because that's kind of like your biggest thing is that you are so good at putting complaints out there and making them effective. Like what route or who. I know he's in the UK, but I don't know. Maybe you could look into that a little bit.
I know where I can go.
Now, one thing I would say, see if you can find any advocates around you that advocate for this sort of thing. I don't know of any. Again, I'm across the pond over here, so I don't really know what to tell him other than try to find some advocates.
What's that, Darren?
Do you guys have a lot of advocates over there?
Yeah.
But are they in bed with the agency over there, or are they neutral, or what are they?
I think they all piss in the same pot, Darren, to be honest.
They do. Yeah, that's what I figured over there. Well, their corruption is something like we don't even see here. It's very similar, but on the same hand. I mean, they even have CPS police over there.
There is a reason why we did not want to be British. I'm just saying. There's a reason we fought that whole war, so we didn't have to put up with that shit.
Yeah, well, I'm Irish anyway, so.
Well, I was trying
kind of right though, Darren.
Trying to get some friends on them. What's that?
Durham is kind of right because according to what I just found for the UK, their advocacy people, the advocates are attorney generals.
Yeah, see, in this country, if you go for a lawyer like solicitor, like we call them, we always make sure we go out of area. Always go out of area. And social services, I don't know whether CPS do this, they always give you a list of their solicitor. Say, yeah, here's a list, go get your lawyer off that. And I said, no, thank you. Go fuck yourself, basically.
Yeah.
Because everyone on that list is working for him.
Right.
Have you visited with Amnesty International yet?
Sorry?
Amnesty International, they're a human rights organization, pretty powerful.
Somebody's told me. Yeah, I know they are. Somebody's told me today, right? Because my dad's Irish, so I'm classed half Irish. I'm classed Irish basically. So I should bring Ireland into this.
I would go see what Amnesty International says. I will tell you this: it's going to be just like the ACLU. More than likely, you bring them the best case in the world that they can win, and they still might not take it if it doesn't align with the political agenda at the time, which kind of sucks. But if it does, hey, guess what?
Yeah, you're
You'll have lawyers behind you.
Yeah.
Anything's
Well, Bo,
worth
that's
trying
good. So
now.
you've actually taken down the DA now. You're one of not many.
Good job.
That's good stuff. And get this, Bo.
There is another issue I'd like to discuss with everyone.
Sure.
And guys, I've about hit a brick wall on dealing with this. And it's sad. It's bad. It's just it's not good. So basically, here's the background. Echo Glen Children's Center and Green Hill School are both located in the state of Washington on the West Coast. They are Washington State's minimum and maximum security juvenile rehabilitation facility. Many, many kids there are foster kids and juvenile justice kids. Most are, I would say 70% are simultaneously both. Some of these are also DOC kids because they've committed adult crimes and to adult sentences and are waiting for their juvenile clock to run out to be transferred to adult prison. I was a resident there when I was 17 years old. 9 months I did there. I'm also from the community that Green Hill sits inside of, right in the middle of Chehalis, Washington. I actually went to high school 2 blocks from there. About a year ago, the police raided the facility and they found about 1,500 fentanyl pills inside the facility. They found kids overdosing, kids that had overdosed that hadn't been reported properly. And it comes down and it boils down to this facility is ran by CPS itself.
Oh, wow.
There's been many news stories on it. We've had about 8 different staff members arrested. Anything from fucking the residents to turning a blind eye to one while one was getting jumped to we've had several counts of drug dealing going on, smuggling of cell phones, vape pens. And my whole thing here is, guys, this is probably one of the most vulnerable populations out there that there is of foster and troubled youth, because they're innocent. They're under control. Now, whether they're there for good reason or bad reason, the ultimate goal of Green Hill School was supposed to be able to rehabilitate these children, teach them skills, and turn them loose into adulthood as productive citizens. Well, I can promise you, from being a resident there and now from all the media coverage that has come out of there in the last year, we still don't have that. It's actually worsened. Since the raid, since all the media coverage, it has actually gotten worse. So media coverage isn't even helping. Embarrassing them isn't helping. So I was wondering if I shared a letter to the editor spot for the local newspaper where Green Hill is located. Would you all someone here feel comfortable also writing a letter calling for reform and giving the kids a cleaner environment that they've got? Because you can't. Yeah, I mean, they've had kids stab each other. They've had, and one of the big problems here, I will point out, it used to be when I was there. Now, I'm 30 now, and I was 17, so 11, 12 years ago. I think it was up till 2018, so 5-6 years ago. You left there on your 21st birthday. You were transferred. You were either released or you were transferred to a state prison or a county jail to fulfill the remaining debt owed of your sentence. The Washington State Legislature got together in 2018 and passed what they call JR to 25. And basically that granted the juvenile authority the ability, and it was designed to keep young people out of prisons too, which I'm all for. And so they went ahead and said, well, we're going to keep them till they're 25 now. Well, that was very poorly implemented. And now the problem we have is we have 25-year-olds in there with 16-year-olds.
Yeah, that's bad.
Right.
And, now the governor
Are
has
they
come
even
out.
allowed to do that? If it's a facility for underage, how the hell do they manage to keep them up till 25?
I believe that they interpreted what juvenile is in their own interpretation and changed their own definition, and that's how they have a law going.
Okay, and
I
you
need to
said
go
this was
actually
Green
read
Hill Steel. That's what it's called?
Green Hill School.
School. Okay. Because
Uh,
I'll
C-
go search at it, and then
Are you
I'll
taking
tag
notes?
I'll tag Paris Hilton. I'll do
Yeah.
a what the fuck news, and then I'll tag Paris Hilton.
Yes, that'd be awesome, Josie.
Google Green Hill School, Chehalis, Washington. Chehalis.
I'll get that to you, Josie. I'll get that also so you can have it if you didn't get it in there.
So the other thing to bring up here also is it's now gotten to the point that they can't, the children's services people have discovered, well, we're not as bright as we thought we are. We can't contain this. They tried to stop intake. Well, now the governor went ahead and sent Department of Correction guards over there.
Oh, man.
So we've got all kinds of problems here. The Department of Correction guards, I suppose, are whatever. That's a little overkill. They're for dealing with adults. They're for dealing with prison shankings. But the problem is that same stuff is happening at Green Hill, a lot of it. But I don't think that we need a group that's equipped for dealing with adults and they're dealing with young people either. I think that's
here's the thing. We're dealing with victims here, and that's what people are forgetting about. These children are victims of abuse and neglect, and what people are forgetting about is they're just shuffling them into like they're dogs, man. Just get into the least. I mean, you're getting the treatment of a prisoner, which that's supposed to be the lowest of low that you're given in this country, to serve out a sentence. And we're giving it to these kids that CPS is removing from homes that are victims of abuse and neglect. Not really at all, but they're stealing them from there and then putting them out to pasture to rot and die. And that's it.
I might have to disappear for a sec, but I was going to share my latest letter to the editor I wrote, if you could read it.
Yes, sir. I sure will. And then we'll do the last thoughts, and then we'll be out of here. But yeah, let's get that, Bo.
All right. I might have to disappear for a second to pull it up.
All right, buddy. Wow, that's terrible. But that's really cool that he did the first DA. That was really cool. So what'd you think about that?
I've just Googled that on ChatGTP, and some of that shit's happening here.
Is it?
Yeah, secure units and that.
If we can get you and Bo together, Durham, to figure out a way to do something, man, he's really an amazing person. He really is good stuff. Let's see if he comes back here. All right. No, not back yet. He had to disappear. Well, guys, if we want to do last thoughts, we can do that, I guess. I don't know if Bo's coming back. If he said he is, but I don't know if you want to give him 3 seconds or if you want to do last thoughts. I don't know. Let's do we'll do last thoughts, and then we can bring
get
Bo
off the
up.
bed here soon. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do last thoughts. Let's do it. Durham, you're up, buddy.
Yeah, one problem, then solution, us.
All right.
Huh?
Short and sweet. Did you get that?
No, you just blurred
Right,
out.
Sorry. One problem, CPS, Children's Services. Solution, families.
Yes, sir. Damn right. Josie, last words?
When you think there's no way, there always is a way.
That is the truth right there. That is absolutely the truth. Herbert.
being a victim or setting yourself up to be a victim of CPS.
Say that again, Herbert.
Do it again, buddy.
Learn all you can about Child Protective Services and how to stay off their radar so that you and children do not become a victim of CPS.
Yes. Yeah. You did good. Vinny.
Oh, Bo wrote in the chat.
Josie, don't forget to follow me.
I will. As soon as we get off, I wrote down your thing,
Cheers,
so don't
honey.
worry, I'll follow.
Vinny. Last
All
thoughts,
right.
buddy?
As always, never give up. Keep fighting. Hate your caseworkers as much as you hate their supervisors.
Well said.
Very good, Vinny. Very good. All right, everybody. Thank you guys for all showing up here. We really do appreciate your guys' support, everything that you do. I guess my last words tonight will be check out my book on Amazon. Help us fund this. Don't forget, people need to make a living on this stuff. So before you're going to attack somebody for their causes, make sure you pay attention to what they're doing for. Sometimes if you think it doesn't mean that's what it is. So we need this support. So support your guys, get in and out, support your friends, support the enemies. As long as they're supporting CPS, all things to us.
Just meditate, you waking up now, well baby you hella late. Educate, look at what's going on, let it resonate, accelerate. Find your inner hunger like you never ate. Agenda is to push the hate, separate and segregate. Don't celebrate quite yet, the storm is coming, cue for heaven's sake. Violence that they demonstrate, instigate and penetrate the values of our country. And our God is what they desecrate. My fighters ain't no featherweight, pulling out the seams of the fabric that they fabricate. They feed us lies, manipulate, intimidate through fear and force, forcing us to sit and wait till we come together, congregate, and then we liberate. Praying that you give me strength to find some love amongst the hate. Marching on the streets of blood till I see the golden gates. Troubadour, troubled souls, one of God's servants. Blades out, cut the grass till we see the serpents.
One day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show, it stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.
I know the truth is hard to swallow, just digest it. Suspected something's going on, chosen just neglected, deflected by some breaking news. Oh, we just accept it, expected just to fall in line and follow their perspective. Don't question their objectives, but I got a lot of questions. How these kids molested, but nobody's been arrested. Read it in the testament, these children are protected. So I'm fighting all these terrorists, both foreign and domestic. Refuse to be directed, lying not a sheep. Only kneel to my God, so I'm dying on my feet. Silence when we speak, but there's violence in the street. I've been rolling with the punches, I can't take it on the cheap. Nah, drink from a glass half full, I'm optimistic. People are sadistic, so vicious and malicious. Praying for assistance to overcome opposition, or I'm gonna start resisting and then I'll pray for forgiveness.
Oh, one day I hope you see the truth. This puppet show, it stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now. We need you now. Oh, we need you now. One day, one day, one day, I hope you see the truth. This puppet show, it stays on because of you fools. We've been dancing with the devil way too long. I know it's fun, but get ready to pay your dues. Oh God, come back home. This crazy world is filled with liars and abusers. We need you now before we're too far gone. I hope one day they finally see the truth. God, we need you now.